forget how. But like I forget how to do anything.
Are we including this bit?
I don't know. I'm editing. We'll find out later.
It's been a while.
Yeah. We're here with some random conversations, sometimes funny, sometimes coupley, always nerdy. I'm Britt,
I'm Chris.
and we're that nerdy couple.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
It's been I think at least over a year, I want to say, since
Yeah.
our last episode of this, but we're back.
We're here. We're doing it.
Yeah, doing things and live. I almost said
Living.
on Twitch. Yeah, no, living.
We're living live on Twitch. Living.
We're living live on Twitch, but not really on Twitch.
No.
Yeah, but this is much overdue, I guess you could say, and
Yeah.
the format has changed. I know back when we were doing this, we were doing both visual and audio, so recording the episode and also doing it on regular standard old-fashioned podcast
Yeah.
formation, but we just decided it'd just be easier just to get
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. I'm considering this like season 2 of the podcast.
Season 2 version 2, since it's been so
Pretty
long.
much.
And are we different people now? Are we the same people?
That's a complicated question. I don't think we have the time for that.
But yeah, a lot has changed since I'm trying to remember what our last episode was. We probably should have looked that up before.
No,
we
I know it.
actually did
It's it was the I think it was like the school test thing.
Oh, right. You were testing me and I was testing you, right?
We were taking tests together.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
taking tests together, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I honestly just remembered that once you mentioned it. I totally was just like drawing a blank because the last thing that I remember was the soda, which no one ever got to see or hear because
No, we did post it.
There-
We asked people like
the
if they
audio
would mind.
version?
No, both.
Oh,
We had both.
did.
And we asked people if they would still want to see it even or hear it if like the audio was shit, which it was.
Yeah.
But I
I
did my best.
I forgot, was the audio like corrupted? I think that's what happened.
Kinda, yeah. It was just like I don't remember. Something happened with audio. It wasn't good.
I remember that you were like really, really upset about that.
It was just annoying because I like.
Well, because it was like a whole production thing. Like we had like lights in here with the table and like all the different sodas and then the camera angle.
Well, we always had those lights and everything and every time, but that was one that we were excited about.
Yeah, we were. It was the weird sodas that we tried, and there was like
me to this day.
my teeth still have not forgiven me from that video and that episode.
Ugh, God.
It feels so long ago.
It was long ago.
It was post COVID. No.
Yeah, like during prime pandemic.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. It was a totally different. I had a different job.
So much has happened. I don't even know where we should start this episode off, other than
All
just
right.
reminiscing. Do you want to start at?
Let's do like.
Because we talked briefly before we started this episode on what
What
we're
we
going to
wanna-
talk
yeah.
about. Yeah, and I think this might just be what we would consider like a recap and tell-all type episode.
Yeah. Well, okay. So before we get into what we're referencing, like, life-wise, we are technically still in the same house.
Yes.
Also, I no longer work for the insurance company I was working for back last time when we had this.
Oh yeah.
I had a different job, or I got a different job as I was doing freelance writing, and then they hired me on as managing editor, which was awesome. But then they sold the company to a private equity firm who then were like, yeah, we want to keep you on. And then a few months later, we're like, no, we don't want to keep you. Well, they wanted me to stay, but they wanted me to stay for less pay and less hours, but the same amount of work. And I was like, no. So now I'm unemployed, but applying.
And also you've been working on some freelancey type stuff.
Well, I've been trying to do that.
Well,
yeah,
setting it up. Yeah. So, And as for me, I'm still doing Twitch and content creation. I'm
Oh,
kind
I
of
didn't even talk about that.
yeah, I'm still I still consider myself doing two jobs. I work a
Mm,
9 to 5, which as of recently there might be a promotion involved very soon. So crossing
fingers
fingers,
crossed.
yep, cross all the fingies, the toesies, cross them all. So there's a possible promotion involved there at the 9 to 5. I'm still working there. Actually, since last time I recorded this episode, it's the same company, but
Mm-hmm.
another company bought it out, but we
Mm-hmm.
still are retaining our own identity. It's a little confusing, but cool.
That's how corporations
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. And then I'm still doing Twitch stuff and trying to get more into the YouTube side of stuff. And some big things happened. I'm now an official partner with G Fuel, which is
Powered by Jifu.
I'm actually trying out. They just sent me a cantaloupe flavor. Which here, do you want to try it?
Yeah,
It's actually
I
pretty
like
good.
cantaloupe.
Yeah, I do too. It's
Ooh,
a
it smells like
yeah,
cantaloupe.
it's a Tekken cantaloupe flavor, and
Oh, wow. Okay.
no,
That's stronger than I thought it would be.
do you like it or
I do like it actually. It just was like conflicting with the coffee I was drinking.
yeah, yeah.
What is Tekken?
Oh, Tekken is a side-scrolling fighter game, kind of
Oh,
similar to like Street Fighter or
that would explain the fighting things on the
yeah, yeah.
box.
I'm not big into fighting games. I think the only fighting games that I really really enjoy are Smash, Tekken, For Honor, and then I was trying out Multiverses, but I
Mm,
haven't played that in forever. I think
yeah.
those are the only fighter type games that I like, but it's pretty good. It's pretty refreshing. But yeah, I'm a partner now with G. Can I plug myself? Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
usually we do.
And you can save 20% off on G Fuel using code ChrisXChad. That's ChrisXChad. You can save 20% off on all G Fuel orders, and if you see anything that's new in there, you can use my code to save 30% off on any G Fuel. So there's the plug-in. It's
Yeah,
it's
they get
official.
one for free,
Th-
and then from now on they have to officially sponsor the podcast, and
yeah,
then
they have to officially sponsor that nerdy couple
yeah, and then
podcast.
you'll get more.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So yeah, the Twitch stuff's been good. Work stuff's been good for me. So everything has kind of stayed the same there. We did relaunch our merch shop
Yeah.
as of recently. I guess we'll start recently and then we'll do the tell
Let's
all.
yeah, we'll do that, and that we'll talk about the merch store, and then we'll go to the bad thing that happened to us,
Yeah.
and then we'll go back to the good thing, which is
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She's pointing. You can't see.
yeah. So yeah, the
Yes.
merch store.
Yeah. So I think actually didn't I think we launched the merch store back when we were doing the podcast.
I think probably.
Probably. And we were using Spring, or at back then it was Teespring, and
Yeah.
then they changed to Spring. And they were good in the beginning. They were okay when they
Mm.
switched over to Spring, and then they just progressively
Well,
got
honestly, nothing changed. Like there wasn't a moment that like
well.
nothing was working or
Why
anything
do
like
why
that.
do I remember there was like some bad experiences with customer service, and then their website also going down, and then
Oh,
false.
we weren't active during that
Oh,
though.
okay,
Like,
okay,
well, the customer service, yeah.
yeah,
Like in terms of us as sellers, like needing to contact people, it would take days to get responses
yeah.
back.
Which I
Which
think might just be high volume, to be honest,
yeah,
because a lot of people
I
use
don't
them.
really, but I'm usually pretty patient with customer service stuff like that. Like, yeah, whatever. Like, I get it, but it was kind of frustrating because we would have a design and it would get flagged by their like AI program or whatever for
Mm,
being copyright, and I'm like, it's literally not. Like, I
yeah,
literally just made it myself.
yeah. I remember you would make a design, upload it, and then like 2 days later, you're like, "Hey, can you go on Spring and fix this
Oh
because
yeah,
their
it wasn't even.
AI."
Yeah,
That was another thing. You had to log on to my account. There was no like how we have on the news system where you're like a
there
team member.
was, but for some reason, it wasn't really like
It wasn't working.
beneficial.
Oh,
Like there was no like I don't know. It just but also like their platform in terms of A, what they had available, and B, what like dealing with like I don't know what you call it, but like the design platform
mm,
was such a pain to deal with. It
yeah.
was so slow. Um
It was just a pain
yeah,
overall.
it wasn't user friendly. And then like when you had to like you were working on like you wanted a featured collection,
Right.
you would have to it would bring up this little like pop up window, and then you'd have to scroll to try and find the thing that you want.
Mm.
But the problem is you if you have a lot of stuff like we do, because like we had like the designs would come in a bunch of different forms,
Right.
and it was so slow and so glitchy, and you had to go and just star things, and you had no control over like really what order it was in.
Right.
Like it was not good.
Yeah.
And then it would constantly, that was what would crash, is
Right.
it like that thing.
Yeah. So recently we were reached out to by a wonderful company. Actually, I had no idea like such big YouTubers. Like the first name
Mm-hmm.
that comes to mind is Philip DeFranco. We were reached out to by Fourth Wall, which is another merch
E-commerce.
e-commerce, yeah, and it's invite only, which I thought was weird, but
Well,
makes
yeah.
sense. So they reached out to us. I sat down with their team and met them. They went over like what they're about and everything, and after hearing like their pitch slash like description, it was amazing. Like
It's so much better.
so much better, and
It's
there's
so much better.
there's so many more options for different kinds of merch.
Yeah.
B, they will work with you.
Their customer service is very
Yeah,
good.
like you message them and they will respond within like a few minutes and
Yeah.
like get back to you. And another thing that I really really enjoyed about them was the fact that if you, and I keep using this example on stream when I talk about them, but like if you want to do like, I don't know, branded snow globes, you tell them and they're like, all right, we're on it, and they'll go around looking for someone that makes custom snow globes.
Yeah, supplier.
Yeah, a supplier. They'll reach out to them, they'll set something up, and what they did explain to me is depending on like how big of an item or complication of the item, sometimes they will have like a minimum requirement. So like they'll be like, hey, we can do the snow globes, but you guys need to get like 100 pre-orders for the snow globes, and if we hit it, then it's fully active and good to go. If it's not, then it just gets refunded to the customers or people that put in for the pre-order. Or there's also a third option, like if we're close to the goal, like we're missing 2 snow globes, we can actually put in those last 2 and then fulfill the requirement, and then it's good to go. But I just love how flexible they are, how great their customer service is. Their support team is amazing. Like all through the launch of our new merch shop, they were like reaching out to us and just saying like, hey, I can't.
It was starting to
Oh, okay.
get to me. That is like a
Drastic change there.
drastic change.
Yeah.
Like it barely moved the knob, and
Yeah. She's
Okay.
playing around with the monitoring. But yeah, so they're just fantastic, and all through the launch, which we just launched the merch shop back on the 6th. People have been loving it. We got some new designs. We have some limited time stuff. The ease of
Yes.
use is
we have a better like schedule personally,
yeah.
because before we were releasing like every month new designs, and at the time your thing's telling you to record.
Yes.
We're recording.
Yes.
But the designs, like when you're working a full-time job and trying to also like essentially full-time, like run a store, like, and come up with designs every single month, like you really only have like essentially 2 weeks out of a month to come up with the next month, and it was a lot.
It was a lot.
And it was fun, but like it just wasn't. It's just not feasible. So like now we're releasing every 3 months, and we're only focusing on certain holidays, like Christmas/New Year's, Halloween.
Also, if the community has any ideas or
Yeah,
we're taking like user feedback.
100%.
Yeah.
We always have, and but like designs will be around for like 3 months, unless they're like Pride, which we're gonna have. Not Pride. There is like a holiday that's like weirdly in the middle of like the launch period, but like I don't know. It's gonna be so. It's just gonna be. It's so much easier.
It gives us more time to come up with ideas for merch. They also give us more opportunities and ideas for different products. For instance, there's bucket hats now, which
are like, it's also like there's embroidered stuff.
Yeah, like
which is
the
nice.
hats are embroidered. The I think some of the jackets, like the portable jacket, is also embroidered, which I want one of those so bad.
I mean,
yeah, I know. I can just go and get it.
Get it.
I will. And also like their percentages are really, really nice. They're pretty
Yes.
generous on like
Yeah.
apps, and they have some cool features. Like there's like alerts like while I'm streaming, which is really
Yeah.
cool. And then there's also gifting to the community, which I really like. So if someone is feeling really generous and someone's in chat and they're like, "Oh, I wish I could buy a shirt," someone can just go in and gift like a shirt to the community, and then it then raffles it off, and everybody
Mhm.
can enter in.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And they don't share any contact information or anything. It just the person who wins puts their stuff in, and then Fourth Wall will send it to them and
Yeah.
everything, so they
Yeah.
don't have to share their contact information. But it's
It's such
really
a
really
better platform.
yeah.
And what was I gonna say? Shoot. Uh, I was thinking it and then I forgot it.
It's all right. I'll come back. But yeah. Also I do like that they have like a thank you thing
Mhm.
on there. So basically I can send out personalized little messages to everybody who bought something on the merch shop. I might actually do that today.
I was gonna say it was on my list to do
Yeah.
earlier this week,
It's
but
on my
then,
it's on my to-do list. So,
yeah,
yeah. So
it's
I
on
can
mine
send
too.
little personalized thank you messages, and like it'll show like the person's like nickname and what they bought, and I can just
Yeah.
say like a quick thank you.
Yeah.
So I really like that. They also have like a donation feature,
Mhm.
and I
Which
think
people do use.
yeah, people do use that. And then they
Yeah.
also do have there was another thing on their subscriptions, which I
Yeah. So you basically could be like a Patreon.
yeah, kind of. I think you have to request access for that
Yeah,
because
you
that's a
do.
new thing
It's a
that they're
beta.
doing. Yeah, but it's very very cool. They're very very nice. They're very forthcoming, very communicative, and I just love the fact that on like Spring they had stuff behind like paywalls where hey you have to hit this much business and then we'll unlock a beanie for you.
Yeah. And there was no like. That's the thing. There was no documentation on being like, after this goal, you'll get access to
Yeah, it was
this.
just like do business
Yeah. Do
and
better.
do do better and we'll give you beanies.
And
And
there was no like newsletter to be
yeah.
like Fourth Wall has like a monthly newsletter, I think, that
Yeah.
like tells you what designs or what products like were switched from like requests only to like you can get, they call it like immediate,
Yeah.
so, or instant. So like they're just so much better at communicating.
Yeah, they really are great. So we've been super super hyped on that, and it seems like the community is really loving some of the designs. For instance, I really like the guys, gals, pals
I do
stuff.
too.
I really really do. It's just it's something that I always say.
Hmm.
It's my gender neutral welcome or talking to
Yeah.
chat and everything, and I've just been saying it for the longest time. And our good friend Panda was the one like, hey, let's put this on merch, and I'm
Yeah.
like, hell yeah, like this is
Hmm.
such a good idea.
We have a lot of designs
Yeah.
and ideas and stuff. And we have the Destiny 2 clan logo,
Yes.
which like I like, and I don't know if okay, I don't know if the reason that I don't love it is because the fact that I had to use Comic Sans font.
For anyone that doesn't know what Ram Ranch Rebirth is, we've gotten really, really big and back into Destiny. Like the last time that I played Destiny was back 2017, 2018 when the Forsaken DLC came out. And once we go through our story, back mid 2022, which right now we're in 2023.
Yeah.
But I got back into Destiny because one of our friends got me and Story here back into it. Wait, are we
I'm
using your
Brit.
Brit? Okay, you're right. I'm
How dare you?
stream lingo versus recording
I mean,
lingo.
yeah.
But anyway, so we got back into Destiny, and our friend Pro had a clan called Ram Ranch Rebirth, and he was literally just about to like close out the clan. I was like, no, 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 no. I'm like, don't do that. I'm like, let's get people in. So we started off with like I think there were 4 of us, and now
Uh-huh.
we're up into like the mid
We have a
30s.
lot of people, yeah.
So we're a pretty decent sized clan, and then Britt here came up with a logo, which you can go look on the merch shop. It's on there. It's on literally everything. You can buy a
Koozie.
koozie to hats with the logo on it, and
Yeah.
it's so good. But our clan now has a logo.
Yeah. Yeah. The
So
lore is expanding.
yeah, the lore is expanding. It's great.
I
It's
love it. It's
fantastic.
also thebeardzonestore.com. Is
Yes.
the site.
That's thebeardzonestore.com.
Don't do it. Don't. I'm gonna
TheBeardzone .com. Thanks.
You're welcome.
That's not fair.
You're welcome.
That's not fair. That's mean.
I mean, you could do it to me.
No, I'm not going to do that to you.
Okay.
Because I'm not mean.
Gaslighting.
That's not gaslighting.
Gaslighting.
I'm just
I forgot.
I'm just stating facts.
It's in the clan charter. I
I'm
forgot.
just stating facts.
I forgot. That's my bad.
Anyway, I'm trying to. Oh, also I'm bald now.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think last time we recorded I had hair.
Mhm.
I am now a proudly bald man.
I
By
had purple hair last time.
Yeah, you. Oh yeah, you.
That's how.
Was
long
it
ago
purple
this
hair or was it the cosmic hair?
No, it was purple.
It was purple.
Yeah.
It was purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you talked about it not too long ago. You were thinking about re-dyeing your
It's
hair.
just so much effort to because I have to bleach, and then I'd have to dye. It's just a lot of effort and maintenance. And
Understandable.
if I'm gonna do it, I think I would do it. Get someone professionally to do it,
Mm.
which is gonna be a lot of money. So,
Yeah.
but I can't do it.
No, I understand. It's a lot.
Yeah, I love it, but also I'm trying to find a job. So,
Yeah.
which is
But
a whole thing.
you've been applying to a lot of places, and you had an interview or two, which is nice, and so you've been getting some callbacks and stuff, and then also there
Yeah.
was an opening at my job.
I'm really hoping
Yeah, I'm
I get
hoping
that one.
I'm
to be
hoping
honest.
too. So
Like-
we're crossing our fingers, and you guys, gals and pals, please cross your fingers for
I
Story.
just need a
for BRITT.
job, please.
I keep defaulting back to Twitch lingo where I call you Story.
How dare you?
But yeah, I'm bald now.
Yeah.
And it's by choice. My hair was getting super, super thin, and I was getting frustrated on it. And I asked Britt here about what she thought about it. I asked the community about it, and they were all super supportive. So I went to a barbershop. They did it for me.
It was a barbershop.
Well, it was it was a
It's where I got my hair done.
salon.
Yeah.
Is that the better word?
Yeah.
Or term? Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I went to a salon, and Britt came there and held my hand. 'Cause it-
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, because I was very nervous about it. But honestly, bald, it's nice
Mhm. It
because
suits you.
yeah, the bald and bearded look goes great. I get to wake up in the morning, roll out of bed, go and just I don't know, dust off my head in case there's any little fuzzies from the bed or whatever, and brush my teeth, fix my beard, and I'm good to go. It cuts down shower time. I just put like a little bit of Head and Shoulders in there just to revitalize the scalp. And sometimes I'll just sit here just feeling my head because it's so smooth. But I will say, it's so weird the fact that it took me to shave my head to then realize how fast my hair grows back in, because I'll have to I'll have to buzz my head literally, what is it, every other day, I would say, because
Yeah.
I get it's lesser than a crew cut, but I'll have little tiny hairs and it itches. So but I can see where I was thinning, and honestly, looking back at old pictures and videos and stuff like that, you could just see my scalp. It was so bad.
Yeah. Well, better.
Yeah, I like it, and Britt likes it. I hope. Crossing my fingers. Okay, good. She's smiling and laughing now. She's so cute.
Shut up.
No, you.
Do we want to?
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess we'll get into the big recap, which is everything that has happened to us
Let me
since
get
then.
my note.
You want your notes?
I got. Oh yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Yeah. And we have talked about this respectively because a lot has happened, a lot. And we have talked about this respectfully on our own mediums. I know I talked about it on. I've been doing a gaming vlog series on my YouTube where
a blog.
a glog, as I've been calling it. Yeah, it's a gaming glog. You can go check that out. It's Hard Space Shipbreaker, and while I'm playing it, I'm just talking about life, things that are going on, and stuff like that.
Is that your
So
feet?
yeah, it's my foot. You playing
Oh.
footsies with me?
Your feet are warm.
Yeah, they're very warm because
Nice.
I'm wearing socks. You're not wearing socks.
No.
Oh my god. So big things happened to us during this big hiatus. So do you want to start it
Yeah.
off, or should I?
Okay. So the short version is we moved across the country and back in under 6-7 months.
6-7 months, yeah.
And we moved because at the time we had friends who lived in Vegas, and we really wanted to move out, and we did kind of want, we were considering moving out west anyway.
Right.
And we're like, okay, this will be just like a stepping stone. The rent was good. It was the same amount of rent that you were paying where we're at
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah. It was actually really decently
yeah,
priced.
it was a good price. Like like utilities were decent. They weren't really a problem.
Mm.
Um, and basically, most of what we were led to believe and told was false.
Right.
So
Well,
we had okay. So we moved there October
October.
2020,
Yeah. So it was 2020. We
right? Yeah.
yeah, it was 2020. So it was during peak
No,
COVID.
wait, wasn't it 2021?
Yeah, no, it
It
was
was 2021.
2021. It was 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was it before my birthday? I think it was before.
No, it was
No,
after
it
your
was after
birthday.
my birthday, right? So late
It was like
October.
it was literally Halloween
Yeah.
weekend. We
And
moved
and
out
we had to
there.
do a lot of planning for this
Yeah, I
too.
mean,
Like we had to look into
budgeted. We
budgeting. We also had to look into how do we transport all of our shit,
mhm,
which we ended up doing a pod with
which I would recommend
Yeah. Oh
if
man.
you're gonna do
If
actually, I don't even like if you're not using an actual moving company, like use a
oh,
pod.
first of all, we had to get a car.
Oh
That was the
well, there
first
was
thing.
like this whole yeah
Yeah,
because
so our first thing was getting a car, and because I had at that time a 2004 Hyundai X350G. It basically the only thing to know is it was an old ass sedan, and I said, yeah, we can travel across the country in this,
no, we
and
could
she
not.
goes, no, freaking way, no, we can't.
No,
So we had to go around. We did a lot of shopping. I got screwed over after having some connections for a
well, we didn't get
car.
screwed over. They just
They were just
rude.
assholes,
They were
yeah.
just rude.
But we ended up actually not leasing,
No, you took
finance.
over
Yeah,
the
the finance.
the. Oh yeah, you did switch
Yeah,
to
yeah.
financing.
Because
Yeah,
Brit at the time had a 2020 Kia Sportage
yeah,
that they were leasing. So we actually switched it over from a lease to a finance in my name.
yeah,
So we got a car.
yeah.
Then we had to figure out, well, what's the route we're going to take, which we used
Triple A.
AAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they were fantastic, by the
Oh
way. Yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they planned out our route, they planned out
Like
stops for us, they planned out places that we could go and eat,
yeah, I
fuel,
mean, if you ever use it's called Triptych,
triptych, yeah.
and like obviously you have to be like a AAA member, but
Yeah.
like honestly worth it because you also get discounts on like hotels,
Yeah.
which helped us because obviously we're driving
What was it,
across the
4
country.
days? It was like a
Yeah,
4-day
it took us
drive.
4 days to get like of driving essentially. Um, and so with a cat, we also had Ash.
We also had to plan how the hell do we get our cat across the country.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
it was a lot.
yeah.
But
So we did pods, which they were fantastic. It's just basically a big shipping container they drop off. You
yeah,
load up all your stuff, they pick it up, they send it out.
yeah.
And it was there waiting for us when we got there,
Mhm.
which was really, really nice.
Mhm.
So yeah, there was a lot of planning and effort, and we were really, really excited about it
Yeah.
because we were going to be out of the house that we're currently living in because we live in a like split level with Brit's mom. We have
Yeah.
like our own 2 rooms and bathroom and everything. And we were like, yeah, we can be out there closer to a lot of our friends who live out West Coast and the
Mhm.
friends that we were moving in with at the time and everything. We get to, share a house with them and everything. And it was just, we were really, really excited.
Yes.
And we also want to make it known we're not going to be mentioning any names.
No.
We're not asking for anyone to, disrespect or anything. We're just telling our sides of the story and reasons on
Yeah,
and
because I
everything.
know people know stuff happened,
Yeah.
but we very much. I mean, we didn't even tell like our core friend group,
Yeah.
pretty much anything of what was going on until
Yeah.
after we had decided we were moving back and like told our housemates we were moving back. Like, and we really didn't even. It was really only like maybe a month before we actually moved back that
Yeah.
we actually told people. So like.
Yeah.
We just because when you all have the same friends and stuff's going on like between you and like a party
Yeah.
in that group, it's hard to be like, hey, this person sucks.
Yeah. And also it's taken us, I would say, probably not until like maybe a month or two ago that I'm like maybe a little bit more than that, but I'm feeling comfortable being able to talk about it like freely and stuff like that because it
Yeah.
was honestly not a good experience.
Yeah, like I have like yeah, like you said, you talked about a little bit on your vlog,
Glog.
gaming vlog, sorry. Um and I do have, I mean, we recorded a ton of footage from that move.
Oh yeah, we have
Um
footage of us going there, and then we
mhm.
have footage of us going back. And I still haven't done anything. I know you were working on
Yeah,
some
well,
stuff
cuz
with it.
it's just so much
It's a
footage.
lot.
It's a lot. And also like like I have recordings of me like talking before, like during and after. And for me, like I want to make that vlog, but I also need to make sure, like it took me, like you said, it really took me until like last month to really feel like okay, like I can I feel okay sharing this
Yeah.
because it, and I've talked to a lot of like my writer friends
Mm.
who do like why do you keep looking at it?
Hmm?
You keep looking at the
No,
thing.
I'm playing with the cable.
Oh, okay. Um I talked to a lot of my writer friends who like deal with like, you know, nonfiction writing and like autobiography kind of stuff. And one of the things, a lot of like what they say is like, you know, you're handling it respectfully, and but you're just like, you have the right to share your
Yeah.
side and your story. Um, and so I kind of have to keep that in mind because like
Like
part
we
of me just wants to like move on, but the other part of me is like, I know that there's shit I can't, like I
like
feel like I need to talk about.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like it's like we want to be as respectful as we can.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talked about this episode, and we were like, yeah, we can, we feel comfortable
Yeah,
talking
I mean,
about
I feel
it.
like we can't start this season off of this
Yeah,
podcast and not talk about it. Like it's
because this
so,
has been such
it
a
was
major
6 months
thing.
of our life.
There
Well,
was
way
only
longer than
there was
that.
only one good thing that came out of that move,
What?
and we'll get to it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my God. We have not even.
we haven't. Yeah, we didn't
Oops.
even get to that. We were just
Okay.
talking about yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. So we'll go through the bad and then we'll talk about the good.
Yeah. Well, I also want to add the drive there, beautiful.
Oh yeah.
We
I
got to
mean,
drive through the northern part of the United States. It was a
on the way
4 day
there.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the way there, we got to drive through one of the states that I honestly thought that I wanted to live in, but now I'm questioning Colorado. I don't know if we have any listeners from Colorado. You have a beautiful state, but
Yeah.
how the hell do you drive on
I
those
mean, it's not
roads?
all like that.
I
Like
know, but
it's just that road was.
it's just we were driving up a mountain,
Yeah.
and then we were driving down a mountain, and then
Yeah.
I've never seen these before, emergency truck runaways.
I've seen them, but.
I've never seen them before, and then looking into them, it scares the hell
Mm-hmm.
out of me that the fact that trucks brakes can break, and then it's literally just a ramp so that way the truck gets dunked off the road and doesn't crash into anybody. I was, and I think we were driving as it was turning to night.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
also a part of it.
and I was freaking out. I remember we had to pull over, and you had to be like, "Calm down," because I drove all the way
Yeah.
there. And
Well, yeah, we stopped at that
Wendy's.
Wendy's and then saw a car accident
Yeah.
happen.
I started panicking even more. I was
We
like,
weren't even like driving. It just happened, and we're like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then Ash, we had Ash the whole entire
Yeah. I
time.
mean,
And
he was a trooper though.
yeah, first day he was whiny. Second
Uh-huh.
day he was like, whatever. He was good in the hotel rooms. We had a little portable kitty box for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, it took us 4 days to get there, and we got there, and we were blown away. Like the size of the house.
It was yeah, yeah, it's a nice house.
Yeah, it was a nice house. It was in a nice area.
Yeah.
It was only 30 minutes from the strip, but I don't think either
Which
of
was
us
okay with us because we like 30 minutes
we're
with
homebody.
traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are, and we also like we're not gamblers and like
Yeah.
you
But if we
know.
wanted to go and do something,
Yeah,
it
like
was
there's
like
stuff to do.
yeah, like there's plenty of restaurants and
Mhm.
shows to do and everything. So we were throwing
Nacho Daddy.
yeah,
I
Nacho
miss
Daddy was
Nacho
good.
Daddy.
Also Pink Hole, I think
Pink
that's what
donut.
Pink I think was
No.
well, wasn't it? There's a donut place, and I think it's either Pink Hole or Pink Donuts.
It might be Pink Hole.
Oh, Pink Box.
Pink Box. There
Pink
we go.
Box.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
They
had
were yeah.
those were gourmet donuts.
Yeah, it's just like that's the problem with like stuff like that is like you get a box and then you're like, I can't eat all of these.
Yeah. We also got to experience all the West stores, which was nice.
Yeah.
Like Albertsons and Smiths, and because we hear all of our friends who live out west like talk about
They're
these
all
places.
owned by Kroger. They're all the
Yeah,
same
it's
store
all
with just different names.
yeah. So we got to experience all of the West stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's a
Um,
grocery store, so.
yeah. But yeah, at first it wasn't bad. We
Um,
I think when we first got there, I think the one thing that immediately kind of set me off, and kind of set off some alarms was the space
yeah, it was smaller than
made out to be.
we were told,
Yeah.
and
We were told specific dimensions. Well, actually no. We were told, we asked about the sizing. We weren't told any dimensions. We were sent
no, I
pictures.
tried getting the dimensions, but
Yeah.
I never
But
got
we
them.
we were we were sent pictures, and I honestly, looking back now, those pictures did not
No,
add up to the actual space that we were
no.
given. Like the
Um,
room that was shown to us was way smaller than it was made out to be in the
yeah,
pictures. And I don't think that
yeah,
was intentional. I think that's just picture versus reality.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so when we were deciding to move,
Mm.
we like personally, I had my it's the heat making
Yeah,
noise.
yeah.
I had this list of like things that like I would want,
Mm.
like regardless of where we moved. Like this was just a thing. Like I
Right.
wanted my own office space because at the time my office we were sharing an
Right.
office. So I wanted to be able to have my own space with a door that I could close. And I like asked, could I use the guest room
Right.
for an office? And
Yeah.
they were like, yeah, sure, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. And then I also like when we were talking about like I knew enough about the bedroom that I knew that like the bookshelves that I had weren't going to fit in there.
Right.
So I asked, is it okay if we put the bookshelves like out in the living room? Because they had like all the space, and they're like, yeah, you could do whatever you want. Like it's your house too. It's fine. And this is before we moved
Right.
and
Yeah.
did anything.
The premise was our space was going to be as so there was a front room. As soon as you walk in, that was going to be my office
Mm-hmm.
slash streaming area, which I had a bunch of ideas for. I bought like blackout curtains to like kind of drown out sounds, and
Yeah, because
also
it was an
create.
open room. It didn't
Yeah,
have a
it
door.
literally was like there was like a foyer, and then there was this little side room next to the front door, but there was no doors. It was a big
Yeah,
archway.
it is it like it would be if you looked at like a blueprint of a new house or whatever. Like that would be an office space
Yeah,
according to them,
yeah,
like a study.
yeah. So, and then as for the other space, like past like the living room area, there's a hallway, and at the end of the hallway was our bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to hang up whatever we wanted on that hallway outside of our bedroom, and then our bedroom, and then like Britt said, the spare bedroom upstairs, the guest room, they were told to be her office slash guest bedroom, respectively.
Yeah,
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 like yeah,
and that was all agreed upon. It was fine.
yeah,
So when we got there, like we were moving in, and yeah, the room was smaller, and I was kind of like nervous about it. But like again, we just moved across the country. Like I'm not gonna like we're
yeah.
just gonna make it work.
We're gonna make it
And
work, and we did. We did make it work.
yeah,
We did make it
yeah, we
work.
tried.
Space was a little tight for our
We
stuff
did
and
our very
everything.
best.
Yeah.
Um,
We had to make some sacrifices on some
I
clothing,
made a lot
and
of
yeah, you made
sacrifices.
way more sacrifices than I did.
Yeah, and so because I don't want to get bogged down in all the details
Right.
of that, but like, yeah, so like we made it work, and almost like immediately, me having the guest room slash like office space was a problem, and at
Yeah.
the time, like I was working as a freelance writer, and so therefore, obviously, I need a computer to with which to write and do
Right.
all the things, and they had guests over, which is fine,
Yeah.
whatever.
I
But
I think it's also worth we were living with two other
oh
people,
yeah, yeah,
so it was
yeah,
me,
yeah,
Britt, and two other people, which we
yeah,
will not
and
mention
they were
names.
siblings.
They were siblings. Yeah.
Um, and also their mom was the landlord.
Yeah. That too.
Just all the little details. So essentially, what happened was like I kept not being able to go and do work when people were visiting because like they were in the room a lot or just like whatever. So there was
Yeah.
one like I'll get into the other details in a second, but um there was other problems happening, but this is one of the big moments was when they had one of their friends visiting, and um like they went to go pick him up from the airport, and on the way back they said, "Oh, he wants to take a nap." And I was like, "But I need to work."
Right.
And they were like, "Well, it's a guest room first." And I was like, "He can't, like, I didn't say this obviously, but like what I wanted to say is, why can't he like take a nap in literally any other bed? Why can't he take a nap on the couch? Why is it that I have to sacrifice
Right.
this?" And I was like, "Fine." So I like then he spent the entire day pretty much sleeping, which is like, I'm not blaming him because he is a guest. He just traveled
He just
far.
flew. Yeah.
Like
Flying.
like
He
I've
doesn't.
no problem at all with this person at all.
Yeah.
But it was just frustrating. And then the window's open and there's someone outside the window.
Like right outside it.
Yeah.
I'll close it. Hang on.
Like, yeah. It's just the neighbor, but like it was like making me uncomfortable. He's behind me. Okay. So yeah, so that was kind of a point, like a we hit our wall limit or limit with that, because we were just like, we're gonna just move my desk out of that room and just make
Yeah.
it the
I
guest
I
room.
remember after that they all had like gone out or something,
The
and
next day, yeah.
yeah, the next day, and you came over to me and you were just like, "We're moving my desk," and we were like, "Well, where?" And we
Yeah.
we spent.
Well, no, this was like that night. We were discussing this, and
Yeah.
I was coming up with this plan
Yeah,
because
I remember you had like a pen and
oh
paper
yeah,
and you
because I
were
had to
coming
measure
up. Yeah,
everything.
you were measuring like our bedroom, you were
Mm-hmm.
measuring the office, and
Well, so like
but like yeah, my space.
yeah, so your office, like I was trying really hard to avoid taking up your office space, because like that was one of the things that you always wanted, was like an office space where you can stream and record and all this stuff, and like it could be your space, you could decorate it how you want, which you did.
Mm.
But I really didn't want to invade that, and then which is why I was trying to get the stuff, like the desk, to fit in the bedroom,
Which it couldn't,
which it it,
because it
it
was too
fit,
tiny.
but I had no room to sit or move.
Yeah.
So
So I said,
with the
"You're
next day, in one day, like not even a full day, like 6 hours, maybe eight
yeah,
hours, maybe, we undid everything in the guest room, and we tried to put it in the bedroom, didn't work, had a little breakdown, and then we just put it in the
yeah."
guest
We
in
put
the
in
office with
the
you.
office, yeah, which I was completely fine with.
I know, but like it was just like so frustrating. It was just like the
I
principle
know,
of it and everything.
I
But
know. It was aggravating. I was that the day that I got like really mad.
oh yeah, and I think I've seen you that mad once before.
Yeah,
Like yeah, it was
I
bad.
broke a picture
Yeah, it
frame.
wasn't on purpose though.
it was
You didn't do it on
it
purpose.
was anger, and I just did it, and I was just like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Like it
No,
just
because you were like
happened.
moving something and like it hit the picture
Yeah,
frame
well,
off the wall.
cause I wasn't mad about like the fact that we were moving you in or this. I was mad because it just wasn't fair to you, because this is something that you were like promised,
Yeah.
and something that was just taken away from you. And it's not like that they told us you had to move. It's just they kept implying and kept making comments about it.
Yeah, so that brings us to the other details and the other problems that were
Yeah.
happening, were like, well, pretty much as soon as we moved in, there was constant remarks of like, "Oh, you guys have a lot of stuff." And it's like, we're 30 something year olds, like
Who both work from home.
we work from home. We had our own spaces before this. Like it wasn't like we lived in an apartment
Right.
or like a one room.
And also we like, you
Also,
know,
yeah, like
uh, like we had
I'm a fucking writer. I
yeah.
have books.
Yeah, and also like there were comments about like knickknacks that we
Knickknacks, yeah.
had, and they just didn't understand like, why did we have knickknacks? Why do I have like Funko Pop figures and this and that?
Yeah,
Like,
like personal like
yeah,
mementos and stuff
yeah.
like that.
It was just a weird disconnect, and we were like, you guys don't have that. That's okay,
Like why?
but
Well, it was only one of them that
yeah,
was like that,
it was
really.
yeah,
And it was kind of like, I like looking back, I'm like, I would have just said, like, it's none of your business. Like,
Yeah.
it's our stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what do you?
It was just weird,
We're
and it
not
just seemed
encroaching in your. It's not like we're putting our stuff like all over the house or like
exactly.
in your bedroom or
I think
whatever.
the
Like,
only thing that encroached on any space that was shared was the living room with the bookshelves, but those were out of the way.
yeah, it was a completely empty wall, and then I put bookshelves in.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
Uh,
yeah,
And it made it look nicer, to be
yeah, it looked like
honest.
someone lived in the house.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but and that was something again that we had discussed before we even
Mm.
moved.
Right.
So, yeah, whatever. So, um, yeah. So the comments were a thing,
Yeah, and there were more
and
comments too. Not only comments about our knickknacks, there were also comments about our jobs.
yeah, they didn't quite. So we were both working from home. We both were making like a decent
Decent.
full time employee salary.
Yeah.
Like different. It didn't really matter, but
Right.
like because they had to go out and work.
And
It was
and go on location to work. That was a problem, and we did catch them quite a few times making comments about
uh-huh.
our jobs, what we did for our jobs,
Yeah.
and also kind of insulting our jobs in a way that they weren't real jobs.
Yeah.
And
Because we
and
don't
we
go out
yeah.
to a physical location.
Yeah, and we caught them either talking about it behind our backs, or they would literally make comments to us
Yeah.
about it.
And it was kind of
Like,
like
why
we
the fuck?
both have done so like the one person they
Let's say person A and person B, just to make it easier. If
okay.
yeah,
The older one's A.
yeah, we'll say older
Okay.
one's A,
Okay.
younger one's B.
Okay. So person B was just got her first job
Right,
ever. And like we all go through it. Like we all have our first job that is shitty and it's usually retail or like the service industry of some kind.
right,
So you go through it, whatever. Like we've both of us have done our time. Like we worked really hard to get the jobs that we had. Like, our big adult jobs.
right,
Like I worked my butt off to get like to do the job that I loved and wanted to do. And like it was yeah. They there were just comments. And I don't know how to I hate saying explaining it like essentially they basically tried to bully me.
yeah. This is where it started, like, because it didn't start at like right away.
No, well,
I would say
no, maybe a couple months in. Not even,
I would say
actually.
after the desk thing is when I started picking up on it here and there a
Oh
little
no, it
bit.
was before that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's
it
when
was. It was. Yeah.
that's when I started
It's
picking up on it after
yeah.
the whole desk thing.
So what would happen is, um, literally anything I did or said, person A would go to you and complain or just make comments that
Yep.
are kind of like, and never once was any of this ever articulated to me.
Right. Yeah.
Ever.
Person A would come to me and say, "Why is Brit being like this?" or "Why did Brit
Yeah,
say
she said this.
this?"
And the thing is like everything I did or said got taken out of context or just put into a different context
Right.
or just like
And person A also came to me and said, "I don't know how to talk to Brit."
I yeah.
Right. Or I mean,
I don't
straight
know how
up.
to be your friend.
Yeah.
And it's like
Essentially. And would come to me and say this to me, and I'm like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And nothing against you, babe. I know sometimes you can come off in
yeah.
because when I feel like when people first meet you, you can be a little quiet, like you're kind of assessing like the
Mhm.
person and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I think that can come off as a little intimidating. I know I come off a little over eccentric and everything,
Yeah.
so I get that. But like at that point, we had been living there for like
We had it wasn't like we were brand new people coming in.
right. We
Like
knew these
we knew them
people.
before
Right. We
for
knew
at least a year.
yeah, at least a year. And it's
Yeah,
yeah.
it was very much like, well, the way that because this was a conversation we did have with this person, sort of had a conversation, but like when we were trying to resolve certain things, this came up, and I said, she's, she was like, I don't know how to be your friend because we don't really like a lot of the same things, and I said, we don't have to like a lot of the same things to be
Yeah.
friends. Like,
Not everybody's gonna like the same exact
no,
thing.
like
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a carbon copy of, like, we're not going to be carbon copies of each other.
Mm.
And it just like didn't process to her
Right.
in any way. It was very much like, well, why can't you change? Instead of being like, oh, okay, like that's,
Yeah.
like, we're different
You're your
people.
own person, and
Yeah.
yeah.
It was very much like, okay, but it's your fault. Like that was essentially everything was my fault. So it got to like, because this was happening and you didn't really pick up on it too much, and
Yeah, I didn't.
you didn't, and like there were other, like, it's fine. Like I don't want people to think like you and I had issues regards to
Yeah,
this,
no, I
because
mean
we
we
were
were
fine.
we were we were super
Yeah,
supportive of each
so
other. I'm just an idiot.
it got to the point where I had to literally say to him, like, I had to tell you it was really like how bad it was making me
Yeah,
feel.
and I remember that you told me you can't tell me anymore if she comes to
Yeah,
you, and
because
or
it
person A
upsets
comes to you.
me
Yeah, so I said
and it
okay,
hurts me.
and I remember I had a talk with person A, and I said, listen, if you have any problems,
Mm-hmm.
you should go and talk to Britt and sit down and discuss these things so that we can resolve them. I'm not going to be the third person. I remember that really bothered person A.
Yeah.
Because they felt as
They
if
just refused to talk to me about anything.
they even after that they still refused, and they would like sometimes come over and start trying to talk to me about it, and I would just be like, nope, I'm not talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, you got to go and talk to.
Yeah, and essentially, like, at one point I just started like not. I basically, like, I couldn't say anything or do anything because it was a problem, but I also couldn't not say anything or not do anything because then that was also a problem. So it was kind of like all I really wanted at that point was to just be left alone. Like, let me live my life. Let me just like do my work.
Right.
Like,
let me just vibe.
Play games occasionally, and then let me go to bed. Like,
Right.
I didn't want to be engaged with.
Yeah.
But they didn't like that either.
They didn't like that
and
either.
It was like, I just can't win.
I
And
remember we also had to have that one conversation because they had left on a work trip.
Oh.
And when they came back, and we had to have that discussion with them about it, how we weren't happy about like how it was playing out, and it felt like you were becoming like isolated, or you had a.
I mean, I was.
Yeah. And that conversation did not go over well.
No, there was never a moment of like
resolution.
No, and like me, like we both were very much willing to be like, okay, like what do we need to be doing? Like, how can we resolve this?
Right.
And it was very much like, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out.
Very, very much. There was no ever like, oh, well, here's some solutions, or like, I don't know, or like, there was no discussion put in. It was very much compartmentalized.
Like, let's just ignore it and move
box it and move on.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of stuff went with situations. For instance, when there was some situations with friends, we were told that we were not allowed to be friends with their friends or have conversations with their friends who came over. Which
was so funny because it's like, what do you want me to do? Ignore the person that's staying with us?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Because I remember that person came up to you who was
would come up and talk to me.
talk to you, and then after they'd be like, "Why were you talking to them?" And then they'd just be like, "Am I supposed?"
Oh, but never actually said to me.
No,
it was never actually said to me.
Yeah, it was never said to you.
No.
It was talked about, and we would hear about it, or I would hear about it.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm not the controller of this person who's in our house. They're here doing things. If they come up and talk to me, I'm not going to just like look at them blankly and just pretend that they're not there. Like, we're people, and we're good people.
Yeah.
And
And it very much was like, it was interesting too, because like person B and I got along pretty great. Like,
yeah,
I did not have a problem personally with person B.
It was person A.
Yeah, it just seemed like, and then it was just like really fake. It was like,
yeah, that was
why it was very gaslighting. It was very fake, and it was very much like, just go to therapy and grow up. Like, that's really what all of this was.
Yeah.
But then like the other thing that was going on too was something that I think a lot of people can relate to in terms of like chores in the house and the cleanliness of the house.
I was like, when are we going to bring this part up?
I mean, yeah, we had to go deep for the other things, and now we can go to the more.
Yeah,
I mean, they're definitely
more relatable. I would think
there's definitely more stuff that I'm sure we're like not thinking of right now, because personally, like, I've just kind of I had to box everything up like emotionally.
Right.
I had to box everything up while we were there because the moment that I explode, like the moment anything came out while we were there, I would have just exploded.
Yeah.
And it would have been a war zone, to be honest. And
Yeah.
I just very much was like, I just want to go home. I want to get out.
Yeah, I think it was at that point. I think we were at like the 3-month mark that we had that conversation where I was starting to feel it.
Yeah, well,
And I was thinking it, and then I
yeah,
was
it
like,
about
oh
3
God,
months.
but I was like, oh God, but we just moved here and everything, and I don't know how to bring this up to Britt. And I remember one night we were laying in bed, and you were very, very upset and emotional, and you said it out loud. I just want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like looked at me, and I was like, do you really mean that? And you were like, yeah. And I said to you, I was like, I've been wanting to go home, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been feeling that. And you were also like, what, really? I remember we both cried, and we were
Oh yeah, there was a lot of crying
laying in
while we were
bed,
there.
hugging each other. And I was like, are we going home? And you were like, yeah, we should start planning. And that's when we started like
Yeah, and we called
discussing.
it Plan Pork Roll.
Yeah, plan
And
pork
we had to
roll.
do it in secret
Yeah.
because we wanted to like make sure that we, had everything in place. And
Before we like said, hey, we're gonna be moving home.
yeah, and we also knew like we needed to time it well
Yeah.
because we went like as soon as we told the landlord, aka their mom, we knew that they would find out. So we needed to make sure that we could tell both parties on the
at
same
once.
day.
Right.
And
Right. And there was another factor besides all these problems that we were having, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, we wanted to make sure that like when we said it, they would know,
Mhm.
person A and person B, and then also the landlord would know all at the same time. But back to the chore thing.
yeah,
This is where
it was. I don't even know where to.
it was a hot mess.
Literally, yeah. A mess.
So first of all, they had a dog.
Yes.
Loved the dog. The dog was great.
Yeah.
Big thing is that the dog was still very much a puppy, like probably a year, 2 years old.
Yeah, he was only a year.
Yeah, was a husky. So he was
High
very
energy.
high energy, big personality, would always get into trouble, not listen and stuff. Also, he did not he would get along with our cat, but he would
Ash.
also chase around Ash. So
Oh
we
god,
ended
that's
up
a whole other thing too.
yeah, we ended up having to keep Ash a lot of the times in that little hallway that connected to our bathroom and our bedroom.
Yeah, like he
So-
basically was stuck in essentially one room.
Yeah,
Almost
essentially,
the
yeah.
entire
The
time.
only time he would get it to go out and about was at night,
Mhm.
along with the other cat that was in the house. We would open up the door, and he would be able to
Cat was
go.
an asshole.
Yeah, their cat was not nice.
Awful.
I know it attacked you.
Well, it went to.
Went to attack you.
I've never been scared of a cat before.
Yeah, it was approaching her and hissing and made moves to attack her.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Our cat would get blamed for being a
My
bad cat.
Our cat is just vibing.
Yeah, Ash just wants to chill.
And the only reason he learned how to swat things is because of the other cat.
Yeah.
He only learned how to hiss because of the other cat.
Yeah,
It was never he didn't come in hissing and being mad at
and
everything.
feral or something like
No.
that. No, he was very much just like a homebody and wouldn't bother anybody. Wouldn't really do that much bad stuff.
No.
Maybe once in a while bump into something, but yeah, he learned that all from the other cat. But so there was that. But the chores, it was just unfair. Person A and person B both worked out of the house.
Uh-huh.
And person A and person B were both slobs. Again,
It was bad.
yeah,
it
it was
was,
bad. So
think of your worst college roommate or
yes.
or
That's what I compared it to.
you as a teenager and
Can I-
what your bedroom would be like.
Can I tell
That's
about?
it.
Can I tell about the bathroom salad?
Oh yeah, I talk about it a lot.
Okay. All right. This is just one example. So they were just not the most cleanliest people. And again, we're some of us aren't, and that's okay.
Yeah,
some of
you
us
don't need to be cleanly every single second
Yeah,
of the day.
some
either.
of us don't, and we're not going to get into extreme detail. I will give you this one detail.
I
just
wish I
to-
could show the photos.
Yeah, we'll give you two examples. One is probably relatable, and the other one, this one is just the one that's out there. So when we got there, a few days into the first week, person B made a salad in the kitchen. Person B was eating said salad. Person B then went upstairs and put the salad in the upstairs bathroom.
Which is their bathroom for context.
Is there? Well, actually, no. That's it's the upstairs bathroom because person
Sure.
A has their own bathroom.
True.
So person B left bowl of salad in bathroom first week of us there. The 6th month is when person B
No, it wasn't 6 months.
was it not? Oh, it was
It
5.
was no, it was not even that long. Oh,
No,
no,
it
I'm
was.
telling you no because they cleaned it for the people that came over.
Which person?
Uh,
What on what occasion?
the home friend, not not female home friend, male home
No,
friend.
it was there still.
No, it
It
wasn't.
was
You're
there
thinking
still.
of the pot.
No, I'm not thinking
Hold
of the
on a
pot.
second.
It was a soup. It was a messy
Black
soup.
soup.
There were yeah, it was a black soup. Yeah. Anyway, anyway, we might be fuzzy on the details, but I remember I think it was month 5 that was still up there, and it was the second time the friend came to visit. It wasn't the first
No,
time.
not that friend.
It was it was it was the second time that friend came to
No,
visit.
no. I'm not talking about that friend. I'm talking about the dude who left early.
No, it was up there because I remember going up there and going to the bathroom
I
while they
don't.
were there. It was there. You just didn't use that
No, I
bathroom.
think it was there from after that friend that left early to when the home friend came the second
Anyway,
time.
it was there for a few months.
Yeah, I mean,
It
yeah,
was there for a
yeah.
few months. Maybe I'm getting the dates wrong, but anyway, they made a salad. They left it half eaten. It wasn't like they had like a few bites of it. They left it in the upstairs bathroom, and it was months that salad stayed in that bathroom. And I remember that it was still there because I would go in and just see the decomposing salad. And it went from a salad to a mush to just soup, and it was just black and mushy. There were flies. It reeked. I don't even know
So
why I ended
gross.
up going to. I think
I
I went to
mean,
the bathroom because you had to go to the bathroom, so I was like
yeah,
really. So I would have to
I
hold my breath and go in, and I refused to touch it.
no. And there are other instances of that. Like I remember when I was cleaning out the fridge and the vegetables
We're just
rotted
mush.
so bad that they were just vegetable like rot juice
Yeah,
in the like drawer thing.
yeah.
Um
And the status of the kitchen I think
oh
is
my
like the
god,
the
yeah.
second big one that we can focus on. Like there would just be like used plates that would just be out there for days and days and days.
Yeah.
And at first we were like, well, we're home. We're using the kitchen as well. We can help clean up and stuff
Yeah,
like
like
that. But then yeah,
we tried.
and then it just fell onto us to constantly clean the kitchen. And yeah, mostly you. Mostly you. And I
Yeah.
remember when we first moved in, you came up with the idea.
Well, no, it actually wasn't my idea. It was person A's idea.
Oh, it was okay. So person A came up with an idea to come up with like a chore board, so that way we would spread out the chores.
Yeah.
And I think it was on a board, and then
No.
was it an app?
Yeah.
Oh, it was an app. Okay.
Well, yeah, okay. So that like coming in, I'll do the details cuz you're fuzzy on the details.
I'm a little
apparently.
fuzzy on the details.
So,
I'm not fuzzy on the salad. The salad
okay,
I
whatever.
remember. The salad would live with me
Sure.
forever.
So basically like one of the things that person A wanted from us coming in was to come like have a way to my feet are freezing. You don't want to touch my feet right now. Have
He's
a
biting my
way
feet.
I have him on my feet. A way to like hold person B accountable and responsible for cleaning up after themselves.
Right.
Because that was a problem that we knew about before.
Right. Going into it, right.
And we're like, okay, like that's fine. Like we can come up with a way. And then we got there and, it was fine. Like we didn't really talk about that or get that started because we had just moved in. And like, then like, if like literally like 2 weeks after we moved in, someone was visiting. So it was kind of like we never really got the time.
Right.
It wasn't until like maybe I would say 1 to 2 months in that we finally like sat down because by that point I started taking over pretty much almost all the chores all the time
Right.
and like cleaning up all the time. And we finally like sat down and we're like, okay, like let's talk about it. Her and I sat down and I was like, there's this app. We could try this app. And it sort of like gamified like
Yeah, you would get points.
yeah.
And I have a comment
And
about this eventually.
And then there would be rewards for those points and then like I basically like if you reached a certain number of points, you would get a free meal on the rest of the house.
Right.
Hold on. it's his bone. We're fine. So, yeah, so that's what we were doing, or at least trying to do.
Right. And I think we all downloaded it. We all
Except
agreed.
for
No.
person B.
Person B, they did download
No,
it?
they didn't.
Oh, you're right. They
They
didn't.
refused to
They
download
straight
it.
up refused. We were all using it except
Mhm.
person B. They straight up refused. Person A would have multiple conversations like, "Hey, you got to contribute. Hey, you got to do
Mhm.
this."
Clean up after yourself. Because
Person B would be like, "Yeah, sure," and they never did.
no.
They never. I think there was
So what
maybe.
would happen with that? Like, what would happen is, so there was the foyer, which had a ping pong table that they, or whatever, pool table that they would use as like an actual table to just put shit on.
Yeah.
And it's all open floor plan in this main area. So you had the foyer, and then you had the dining room, and then the kitchen.
Right.
And all of the surfaces would be covered by stuff from pretty much both of them, but mostly
Right.
person B. Constantly just left out like food, bags of shit, like
Newspapers,
garbage, paper, like everything, like clutter.
Yeah.
And more in particular, like the concerning part was like the left out food and the dirty plates and stuff like that.
Right.
And what would happen is person A would get fed up with it too, and then just literally clean it up essentially for.
Yeah. And then they would get
person
into
B.
an argument.
And then they would fight about it, and like it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And like,
oh, and then eventually at a certain point, I remember because we were still, me, you, and person A were still using the app, and a lot of the cleaning fell on to like you.
Oh,
I would help when I can, but you did a lot of
Yeah.
it because we would just get sick and tired. We would walk in the kitchen and there would be pots and pans from 4 days ago.
we got to the point that there were no clean plates, no clean forks,
Garbage was
spoons.
overflowing. Also, that's another thing we can briefly get into, the missing silverware. And
yeah, there was a lot of missing.
Yeah, so we would just go in the kitchen and things would just be gone. Plates would be gone, forks and knives would be gone. And I remember we got so fed up of it, we went to like our local Target and we
Yeah.
just bought our own forks, knives, and plates.
And kept it in
and
our
we would use them, wash them, bring them into the bedroom, and then
Yeah.
keep them in there because things were just disappearing and we had no idea where they would go.
Yeah.
we had no idea. They would just be gone at a certain point. And that would also go. We also had some glasses too because they would just disappear.
Everything would just disappear.
Yeah, everything would just disappear.
Into
It was
the ether.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so but I remember that person A started making really nasty comments about the app saying, "I don't like that Brit is like, updating like in the app that they did this, this, and this." I was like, "But isn't that the point of
Yeah.
the app to say like, hey, I did this chore just so we can keep track of it and stuff?" Yeah, I feel like it's kind of braggy. And I'm like,
then fucking clean.
yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
like clean.
Yeah.
Then
And
do
I was
it.
then I was like, but that's the point of the app. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole entire point of it. So that was a whole thing. And like Bert even said, like we have pictures of it. It's disgusting.
Yeah, we have pictures of that. I also like it reached a point too with like the app in particular that I literally honestly was doing it just so that just in case I screenshot it and I can say here. Like here's the actual layout of it.
Right.
Of like how much was falling onto
Yeah.
us.
And I mean, and when we got to a certain point that it was like enough was enough, like the garbage would always be full and overflowing, and we would constantly take it. Like it started off that it was like maybe semi-fair because person A was trying to help, and I understand that they're out and working and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But then it just fell on us, and I'm sorry. We might be working from home, but we're working. Like
Yeah.
like
we're not just sitting around
yeah.
twiddling our thumbs
yeah.
doing nothing.
And sorry that you work at a job that demands you to go in and everything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't control that. My job when I first started, I did have to go into an office and everything, and then it changed with COVID. But we can't control that, and that doesn't mean that we're your butlers. That doesn't mean that we're the housemaids. Like, and that's eventually what it became. So I feel like a lot of people can relate with that, but it was just multiple things.
Yeah, it was just like a lot of gaslighting.
Yeah, a lot of
gaslighting, a lot of lying, a lot
Yeah.
of childish behaviors,
a lot of talking behind our backs.
Yeah, and the thing is like they were constantly, or at least one person I know was constantly like talking about us and complaining about us to our friends in the friend group when we had agreed like whatever happens in the house obviously stays in the house. Like
yeah.
we deal with it internally.
And we're
and
not
we didn't tell. Like, only one person knew because like they're like our best friend, but like
Nobody else knew.
Nobody in the friend group knew what was going on.
Unless they went and told them their side of stuff and complained about us, even though we
Yeah.
were the ones.
Nobody knew.
Nobody
We didn't
knew.
say anything until
After the
after
move.
we had until after we had said we were moving out, and also like even from then, like a month
Yeah.
after, like we told them in January, right? February, March.
Yeah, we gave them 2 months notice.
Yeah, we gave them 2 months notice.
Yeah.
We didn't even start telling people until like a few weeks before we left.
Yeah.
And we told only a select full.
Yeah.
Select few.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of like we just tried our best to like keep the peace
Yeah.
as much as we could. As much as I wanted to fucking scream half the time.
Yeah.
Like, and I just I was not mentally okay.
No, and neither was I.
Yeah,
I was not
it
in a
was
good state.
exhausting.
I wasn't in a good state for work. I wasn't in a good state for the stream content. I
Yeah.
would just kind of put on a fake facade
Yeah.
and just literally be
We
counting
just
down
had to
the
pretend every single day that everything was okay and everything
Yeah.
was fine.
there's something there.
There's a thing behind me.
We'll get to that in a minute. And there was another contributing factor on us moving
No.
also, which we did tell people about this, and this was a thing.
This
So
is actual legit.
so so I'll start with my part because it didn't come fully, but so my mom was not doing good at this time. My mom has a lot of back issues, and was telling me around this time that we were basically going to be making our decision that she was going to have to go get spinal surgery. It still hasn't happened, but this is what she was telling us at the time. Anyway, so my mom had some health stuff going on. She was telling me about spinal surgery that she was going to have to get, and then your mom also
was gonna have to go actually for the same
same
thing.
surgery, and then she actually did. Your mom
yeah.
did.
So, which she didn't until
We got
she didn't.
back.
We didn't have that scheduled until we got back because
Right.
she wanted me to meet the surgeon. Like there was this whole thing. Like
Anyway, so that was another reason why we were like, oh, we're gonna go home.
yeah, and also your grandmother wasn't doing well.
Yeah, which
So-
that is kind of sad because once we got back, then she did pass away. So
Yeah,
and
I mean
was,
a few months later, like not immediately.
yeah, and I was glad that at least we
We were
came.
here for
Yeah,
that.
we were here for that. Yeah, because I could imagine having to like fly back and everything for it, but also I got to see her
Mm-hmm.
before.
Yeah.
So with all of that, with all
We
the
moved
problems that
back.
we were having, we moved. But yeah,
Came back.
we moved back, and there was only, I would say there's two things. We got to go on an experience.
Yeah.
We got to go out on our own. We got to experience, living with other people, which I think we can both agree. No offense against any of our friends and everything, but I think
I think we're at the point of our lives we wouldn't.
yeah, I think maybe if we were younger people,
Yeah.
maybe it might have worked out. Maybe we could have made it work and everything. But with us in our 30s now, we're like, yeah, no, this was not for us. But we got to have that experience, and we got engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we were there, yeah.
During all of
On
this,
our anniversary.
yeah. I took her to Mount Charleston, and which if you don't know this, if you're ever in Nevada, especially Vegas, like take some time to like rent a car, go up to Mount Charleston. It's beautiful. It's the oddest thing. You go from like dry desert
Brown
to-
desert.
yeah to a mountain that is covered in snow.
Mhm.
And I took her up to this like lookout point up there, and got on one knee and proposed to her and everything. And I actually had the ring before we moved because my plan was on our way there we were going to stop at the Grand Canyon.
Well,
But
that was your plan. though.
I'm an idiot who don't know distance and maps, no geology. Good
Mhm.
on me. Geography.
Geography.
Anyway, so I had to come up with a makeshift plan, and that was my makeshift plan. So that was the other good thing that
Yeah.
came out of that. But we moved back, and
Yeah.
we had a lot of work to do when we came back, repainting, reorganizing.
Yeah, we did 4 days of driving to
Mm,
get back, and then the next day we had about 2 days of painting.
Yep.
We painted the office and then our bedroom.
Mm,
Which that color turned out great considering my mom and I were sending like pictures of
Yeah.
paint chips back and forth. But it was exact color that like I
Yeah.
wanted.
And we also we had all these shelves and everything that we
Yeah,
had
it was
bought
a lot of like
because yeah,
hanging
because
things up.
yeah, we heavily invested in floating shelves and everything when we were
Hmm.
in Nevada, so we had all of
Oh, my
these
new
things.
bookshelves too.
Yeah, we also got new
Oh yeah,
bookshelves for you.
those bookshelves that we had in Vegas did not come home with us, and part of that was they were just like I had those things for
Yeah, they were falling apart.
a long, long time. I had them
Yeah.
probably at almost 10 years.
But now you have bookshelves that match like your whole aesthetic
Yeah, and
and
also they're
furniture.
actual wood. They're
Yeah.
not like fake wood.
Yeah.
That was it was surprisingly hard to find those things, but once I did, I was like, those are it. I
Yeah.
want them.
Yeah. So we moved back, we did all this painting, we did unpacking, we reset up everything.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean other than that, with anything else that's new, you got a new desk.
I did.
Yeah.
You got me a new desk.
I got her a combined gift of anniversary / Christmas. She now has a sitting standing desk, which is quite awesome. You
Yeah,
actually really
I really
like
do.
it.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I just got to figure out why I can't like connect the app to
Yeah.
it. But
And then we also got a dog.
we have Popper.
Yeah. Who was, I don't know if you'll have this in the recording, but he was like trying to jump up on us
Yeah.
during recording.
Yeah.
His name is Indy. It's short for Indigo. And he just turned 1 year old a few days ago. He is we know 100% confirmed he's a Husky mix. On paperwork, it says Australian Shepherd, but that was not confirmed. So we're waiting.
It will be confirmed.
It will be confirmed because we did get him a DNA
So
test.
stay tuned for that.
Yeah,
in the future.
Yeah, we'll announce it on one of our other episodes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah. I would say that I think I'm still mentally healing from all of that.
Mm.
I'm not as angry as I was.
Yeah, we were both
Because
rageful.
I literally like I don't even know how to describe it, but like literally like when we got back I had to unbox everything.
Yeah,
Like
it was
mentally
a lot.
and emotionally.
Yeah, it was a lot, and
there are still things that like certain sounds and like certain things like literally will give me like PTSD, like triggers.
yeah, it was. I would say out of the two of us, you had a rougher mental time. I was just
Yeah.
angry. I was just
Yeah.
angry and rageful. But I will say, like, I remember that day where you said, "I just want to go home," and I said, "Do you really mean that?" Because I had been thinking it, and I was just like, "How do I talk to the love of my life?" And after all of this, after all of the prep and the money that was spent and everything, how do I say to her, "Hey, I want to go back home and move
Mhm.
across the country," after we just spent all of this preparing for
Yeah.
it? And I was so relieved when you said, I was like, "Oh, thank God I'm not the only one." I'm like, "Oh
And
my
it was
goodness."
also like I had to I haven't fully let go of this, but I have to let go of feeling guilty for going out there because
Yeah.
it was like something that I brought up to you.
Yeah, I
And
was hesitant on in the beginning.
and I mean, yeah, so was I. Like
But I mean, honestly, like when I look back at it, if we hadn't had gone, I'm always like curious, like where would have our lives like taken us, right? Like
Yeah.
where would we be? Would we be more financially stable? Would like all these questions fly through my head and everything. But I'm kind of glad because it gave us like a lot of perspective.
yeah, I mean the
And
positives.
yeah,
Sorry.
and when we made the decision together, it wasn't just you. And
Oh, I know.
I
Yeah.
never want you to think it was just you,
Yeah.
because I
It's
know
just
for a
kinda
while you
like
were like, it was because of me.
yeah, no, I really like. But I think part of that, some of that was because of what was happening in the house, like between me
Yeah.
and us and the other people. Like, yeah, and like there's certain things like, I still gotta work through.
Yeah, it's
mentally.
gonna take some time.
Yeah.
But in the end, I
It all, I think it all ended up where the universe said it was gonna,
Yeah,
like,
it
decided.
worked out.
It all worked out. We're home.
And we
We're
might
safe.
be, yeah, we're safe, we're home. We have a home right
We're
now.
happier.
We're definitely happier. Like, we do wish we had our own space and everything, but that's a goal that we are
Yeah.
gonna work on together. And especially with 2023 just starting, that is a big resolution for myself and for us
Mhm.
to really start working on getting our own home and everything. And
Yeah.
we're still recovering because it was very financially costly to
Mhm.
to move across. Luckily, we have great family and friends
Yeah.
and loved ones who care about us and has helped support us and everything. Um, but at the end of the day, we're home, we're healthier, we're happier, we're engaged, we have a pupper,
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of positives, and we're together, and
We
we
keep
didn't drive each
banging you.
other. We didn't drive each other crazy.
No.
Because I feel like any couple that maybe had, some, I mean, no couple's perfect, but couples maybe that this sort of situation might have really tested them. I think this definitely tested
Yeah,
us,
I
but has
think the
made
only
us,
time like there was ever any tension between us was when like things started happening, and like it, the way that we like the like climax of that was me just saying I don't want to hear about anything that this
yeah.
person says.
And that
I don't
wasn't
want to
that
be
wasn't
told.
really even like,
No, and like that's like
yeah.
obviously like when we were packing like to move there and to move back, there was always like one moment while we're packing and organizing everything that like we snapped at each other, but like it was just like in the moment, and then
We'd be fine
we'd
after.
be fine after. Like we would just be like calm. We'd just
Yeah.
like chill out and then
I just
come
remember
back.
our final night sleeping on that horrible air mattress
Yeah.
that we have. I mean, we're just so done and just ready to get on the road that we just we ordered, what was it, Olive Garden?
No, it was wasn't it BJ's?
Was it?
No, it was
I think it was Olive Garden.
it wasn't. I thought it was BJ's. It was like a BJ's
Maybe.
restaurant. God, I wish I could remember. Ruby Tuesday? No.
I don't know, but we
There's
just
something random.
we ordered and we closed the door. We had our crappy little
We just
laptop,
stayed in
and we just
yeah.
sat on an air mattress watching
Hey, I still
shows.
have that crappy laptop. Or
Yeah.
no, wait, it's not crappy. It was the
It was the laptop tablet. Yeah,
That's yours. That's
I
not
know
crappy.
it's crappy. It's outdated, but anyway,
yeah.
it was an experience, and I think
I think the positive look of it is it did bring us closer together.
yeah,
It brought us closer with like our like family and like friends and
yeah.
we have
And we
friends
straight
now.
up we told our friends the whole scenario, and we said to
Yeah.
them, like, we don't want anyone to pick or choose sides. This is a thing that happened between us and person A and B. You know, we made it know, like, we don't want any ill feelings or anything like that.
Yeah, like you decide how you want to.
Yeah, you decide on
like what relationship you have with this person.
right, exactly. And I was like, our relationship is probably going to end with person A and person B.
Oh, it did the moment we left
Yeah.
that house.
Yeah. Which that even really, we're not going to get into that, but very not great feelings on the day that we left.
Oh, well, the day we were literally driving, like we hadn't even left like the valley, and we got the final. Remember, we got like the final
notice
the
for bills. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like you couldn't, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, like as we're driving, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was but I was like, you know what, we're out of there. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, yeah. The immediate like relief, I think that overcame us as soon as like we pulled out of the driveway for the last time. Was just like it was immediate, like
Yeah, it was like literally we pulled out of that
like a
driveway,
weight
and I was
completely
just
off our
like,
shoulders.
ugh. Like I don't even care that there's a 4-day drive ahead of us. Like
Yeah.
we're gone, we're out
Yeah.
of here. Even Ash was happy.
Oh yeah, and
He
that
was
was another
so
thing
happy when we
that
got back.
broke my heart too. Was like him, like even our cat has PTSD. Like we came back and he's thriving.
Yeah. No, the moment that we got back and that he was running around, he saw
He was so
Luca and he
happy.
saw, Britt's mom. He was so
He's like,
happy.
"A house, I know
He
this
was running
house."
around. I think he chirped a little bit because he was so happy that he had space.
Yeah.
But it's just it was a journey. And if I could go back and do it again, I probably wouldn't. But I don't have that power of rewind. I don't have that power of do-over. So it is what it is. It happened. But we got through it together, like you said. We are stronger because of it. We've learned
and now
some
we know
value.
we could live in a house alone together. If we
No, absolutely.
when
We
we get there.
definitely could. And again, no ill feelings or no reason to go and shame anybody in this. This is just our telltale of
because
what
I know
happened.
people like
Some people know.
some people know, but I know
Yeah.
some people don't, and
We're
I think
not
they're
go-
smart enough not to ask while you're streaming, but I
Yeah.
know that people are curious and wanted to know.
Yeah. And I will say this is much deeper of an explanation I got in my glog. My glog, I basically just said that we had some.
I've been meaning to actually watch it so I knew
Yeah.
what you were saying, so I knew what to.
I'll basically sum it up for you. In the first episode of the glog, I explained we moved. I explained we had some complications with the people that we were living with. We didn't really get along together. I might have thrown a few examples out there. And then also with the health complications of both your mom, my mom, and my grandma. Plus the not working together, we moved back. It was a very, very broad.
Yeah.
This
I
is
got a
much
little
more
deeper
detailed.
in my footage that I have.
Yeah. This was probably the most detailed I'll be.
Yeah.
And
Same,
I would
honestly.
I don't think
I got that deep in mine.
I honestly don't even want to get into any more detail about it. Like the examples that I use are me just giving like very, very basic examples, and I feel like it speaks volumes on, the situation.
And I will say for me there is one person in particular that I would like to still talk to about this. And other stuff we haven't talked about that happened. Just because I know that person was told things that are very false about us, and just be like here's our side, here's what was going on, and like basically be like, we are friends, but like basically be like, no, like I've just even like in that moment we're still your friend. Like I know it might have come off or you were told that like we weren't being your friend, but we were. It's just we were so deep in it and there was so much going on that you don't know about.
There's a lot. And listen, there's two sides to every story.
100%.
Right?
Like
there's two sides, and we're not.
Could I in particular like have gone to this one of the people that we're living with and be like, hey, like here's how I'm feeling. Yeah. But do I think it would have worked out? No. I still think we would have had the outcome we had.
Yeah, I think
this was just like the most calm outcome we could have.
Yeah, we were really trying to be as civil as possible,
Yes.
and that was the thing, because there was a lot of times we were both like, we just want to scream, and we would just have to remind each other, like, let's just be civil.
Yeah.
We're almost through this. We're almost on move date.
Yeah.
Let's just be civil, because we are good people, and instead of just causing more drama and stuff like that, like let's just go.
Yeah.
and then it'll just save us so much time and mental anguish and everything.
It's like that like what's it called? The motto I have, which is like, don't pick up the rope.
Yeah.
Just don't
just leave
get
it. Just
into
go.
the tug of war. Just go.
Yeah, just go.
Let it go.
Yeah. I think that's it.
And now that sums up the last like year.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the good stuff and what's been going on with us recently. So.
So in terms of, let's shift. In terms of us with the podcast,
right?
We're gonna go back on the like every other Saturday we'll post / record, the podcast. But we do want to do gaming. We're just gonna do it separate, like on a separate channel.
Right. Yeah.
And that's gonna be starting in February.
Yeah.
Ish, like beginning or mid February, we'll start doing that.
Yeah, we're gonna be. I think can I talk about what game we're gonna start doing?
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing Green Hell. It just seems like that those crafty survival games.
I just want to finish that freaking story. Like I've started it so many times and never finished it. And it's not because I just don't like the game or the story. It's just because we start playing it with people or together, and then.
So it's just going to be us.
Yes.
We're just going to be playing it. Also, there's a big update that's coming out. I think.
The full release is coming out.
Yeah, the full release, and it adds a whole.
In like a week from us recording.
So it's like perfect timing for when we plan on start recording. But we're going to be doing a lot of games together, whether it's just like co-op-y stuff or stuff like Green Hell, that's crafty survival and things like that. So
I would like to finish Ni no Kuni.
Yeah, we should go back. What else were we doing? There was another game.
Alan Wake, but I hate that game.
Alan Wake, okay, yeah, we don't have to go back and finish.
Alan Wake. I mean, but here's the thing: we could also just play the second one too.
I wanted to stream the second one. Yeah.
I just don't like the character, so that was my thing.
I don't know if you.
But it was fun. I mean, it was still a good game. I'm not gonna say it's not a bad game. I just don't like the character.
I'm very excited for the next one because it looks like way darker. So I'm excited for that.
I can't wait for the Edgelord writer to be back.
But yeah, so we're gonna be doing the episodes. We are also going to be doing the gaming channel.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know that you talked a little bit about working on your YouTube stuff and
Yeah,
also possibly doing some live streaming on
I do
YouTube.
want to do it.
Yeah.
I was kind of waiting to do my own live streaming until I had a job to figure out like a schedule.
Right.
But I'm kind of like, I don't know what's like, it's one of those things where I feel like I'm just putting it off. But I do want to get into streaming, and
Yeah.
also in terms of I have my two channels. I have a gaming one and like a main one, and I've just decided right now I'm gonna focus on the gaming one because the stuff I want to do for the main one is just like bigger projects that's gonna take more than like more energy than I can do right now.
Right.
And so I'm thinking like the gaming, obviously it's Minecraft. And so I do have stuff recorded for like the scripted
Right.
series I was doing, but now I'm like I needed to take a break from that because that takes a lot of like technical planning
Right.
and setting up. And so I'm working on a series that I've always wanted to do and had in my head even before the Rebirth
Right.
series. So I'm working on it now, and it actually like it's exhausting because I'm planning and planning builds, creating them, and then I have to do it in survival mode, and it's exhausting, but also like it's nice to be like focusing on building again.
Right. Right.
Because before it was very much like the storyline, and even when we were on a server, like I was focusing on like running a server, and now I'm like focusing literally just on building.
Right.
And I'm like, which is what I love doing most in Minecraft anyway.
Yeah.
But it's a nice challenge for me. So that's going to be coming up on my channel.
I'm excited for that.
I've recorded 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But it takes like a week for each episode essentially.
But yeah, I'm excited for your stuff, and
Yes,
I
do need your help with the OBS stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you with it.
And I was talking to our friends last night about this. What's nice is I can now stream at the same time as you and not feel like not competing. I don't know what the right word is, but like competing for viewers,
Yeah.
like because I'll be on YouTube. It's
Well,
a different platform.
Yeah, it's a whole different platform, and if you didn't know this, little Twitch advice, you can view and count.
Down.
You can view
Sit.
and count as a viewer. Sorry, Indy is here, and he knows that I have a treat for him here.
Be a good boy.
You need to sit down.
Stay.
You need to, if you want to help support like multiple people that you might watch on Twitch, you can actually count as a viewer in only 3 channels. And a lot of the times, especially like on Tuesdays, there's like 6 of us who stream. So unfortunately,
It's so hard to choose.
Yeah, it's so hard to choose. So nicely enough, with Story streaming on YouTube, she could,
I could be playing a game with you guys, and people like I could still get the
views, yeah,
because, yeah,
which is really really nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's it for this
I
episode.
think that's a good way to end it. Wait, hold on, let me bring up. Frick. Okay, I still have it. Okay. All of this will be linked in various places. We're on Anchor and Spotify.
Yeah.
And YouTube.
And Anchor does a really nice thing where it just puts out the podcast on all the places.
On all platforms,
so
yeah.
depending on
Just
where you're listening
wherever
to
you
it,
listen to it.
yeah, depending on where you listen to podcasts, you will be able to look up That Nerdy Couple podcast on all the places. So spread the word. If you know somebody who listens on Spotify, you can tell them, hey, check them out on Spotify. Or if someone's listening on Google Podcasts, they can go check us out there too.
I wouldn't start listing because I don't know for a fact what we're on right now. Also, we do have a dog that wants to jump on our table. We have Instagram at That Nerdy Couple Podcast. We are on Twitter while it is still existing at Nerdy Couple Pod. Oh my god, he just burped so loud at you. I wish the mic picked that up. And I think that's it. I think that's all the places.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I do have like on the YouTube, there's like the featured channels section, and it has your channel, my channels,
oh nice,
and the gaming channels. So honestly, you could just go there and click everything and follow everyone. Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yes, I'm sorry it's so long. but it was a long story.
I mean, as for us taking as a long hiatus and
Yeah,
everything,
there was
I
a
think
lot to
it's,
catch up on.
there's a lot to catch up on.
Yeah. So, farewell, listeners, and don't forget to stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
I'm glad that was picked up. You're setting him off.